Yeah, so I have the honesty to leave my entire soul process. Like, this is who I am. This is what I'm processing. This is what I'm going through. I have the honesty to leave that on the canvas and the skills to make that happen in a way that feels real and raw and authentic and articulate. And that's why I'm calling this free to be me, because it's like you're free to be you fully and be loved and accepted in that fullness, in that authenticity, because you're doing the work yourself. This isn't trauma painting. It's not like you're like, I don't want people to see my trauma. It's no, you're loving yourself. You're taking care of yourself. This is beautiful because you're loving yourself enough to like um process yourself. You're taking care of yourself. It's actually very mature. This process is like very mature. Um Also, you never have to share your paintings with anyone. I choose to, but for a long time I didn't. So you don't like I'm looking at Amanda, like you don't have to, it's not like you have to make a gallery show. No, this is for you. And if and when you want to show it to others, then that's great. And your inner child will know that she's safe and ready to do that. So, all right, Lynette. So, any from what I just said, are there any emotions that were coming up that you're like, okay, I think I think that I'll do that here in this environment, in the beach jungle environment. Yeah. Awesome. Beautiful.
My voice gets stuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you'll be in like witnessing where it gets stuck. At what point does it get stuck? Is it in the knowing is it Lynette seeing Lynette? Does it get stuck? Or does it get stuck when Lynette is now seen by others? We're gonna watch that process unfold from when the geyser is filling up your inner space of the geyser of Lynette, like the animated force of Lynn, or of the divine that makes you Lynn. You're gonna watch where that fills you up and where is the bottleneck? Where is it getting stuck on its way out?
Okay.
Yeah, great. I'm very excited to support that process of the throat, of the heart and the throat opening in a fluid manner, if that's what you want. Because I remember last class or two classes ago, you said you want to be seen. I think that's what you said. Is it? Was that you or someone?
Yeah, yeah, I
Want to be?
did.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
want to be seen. Yeah, you wanted to paint big. You want to be seen. You want to feel authentic and free and expressed. Awesome. Here for it. Thank you, Lynn.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
So while we were talking about, and Lynn was expressing her beautiful space, I realized that the space that I created, it's a tiny little space in a cave underground.
Mm.
And it's there, it's me, and there is this little light. And I was sitting here and thinking what it could be. And then I realized that most of my life I lived under such an intense pressure. And what happened is the pressure created a little diamond in the end. And now, since my presence there created some space inside of this cave, I think I can dig my way out of it. I think I can. I think these walls, I think everything that led to the today, all this, I don't know how even, like all this thing that pressed me from the outside to not to expand are actually created something good. That's the first time that I'm like having this positive outlook on it. And I think I can dig it out and maybe use it as a diamond that cut all the all the glass. I don't know, as a tool. Is it?
Mhm.
That's
So maybe
something that.
does that feel like what your first painting is in because each painting is traction on our journey. It's a traction on our evolutionary journey. So does it feel like that's where you want to start in your visual journey?
Like from where I'm creating my painting. Well,
Yeah,
that's the place I know. That's my familiar place. I don't know. I don't have that like beach and jungle place yet. I
you
didn't
don't need
create
that.
it.
That's
I mean,
Lynn's.
I didn't create it. The place I have, it's like this safe cave with some light, so I can see what I'm making. That's how I see it at this point.
Yeah, and I want to address what you just said that you don't have what Lynn has. So this is something that I really want to land because comparison is they call it comparison like a thief of joy. It like steals our creativity and our joy. And what I mean by that is we're all going on a journey, staying in our lane, but then look at what happens when someone else is going in a different lane. It's like my car starts veering into their lane. Like, so one of the
Mm.
that we get
Yeah, my
to,
attention, when my attention is
yeah,
not on my path, that
right.
means I can make an accident. That's true.
Right, exactly. And there's nothing wrong with being inspired by one another. I don't want you to think of it like can't look at all, but have the autonomy over your car that you're driving in your lane because that's your lane, because you love your lane. You're devoted to your lane. You're um you're reverent, like there's honor and dignity in your lane. And when we start putting our attention into someone else in a way that like just has us kind of going to autopilot and steer and veer off,
Mhm.
the what could happen is losing um reverence for that our own personal journey. Like it's like I want to do her journey. And how much are we doing that as humans? And
Yeah, it's
I want to do
like,
that journey. I want to do okay, well, your journey is 1,000% stunningly, gorgeously yours, and now you're abandoning it for
yeah,
someone.
it's like I'm in this cave and I need to climb, but I'm looking on the screen and trying to go her like stories, like looking at stories of somebody else, and I'm like, oh, but hey, why don't you climb out and go get to this beach too?
Yeah, yeah. And and maybe that's where you're going, and maybe you're inspired, maybe she's an expander for you, and that's all beautiful.
Can I say
And
something?
and keep your love for your own journey as you do that.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Um, I've been in some caves and I like caves. My brother was a spelunker. There is so much beauty in caves, the different formations of what hangs down, what goes up, the sparkles, the wetness, the slush. It's so full of texture. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous place to be. And it's so nice and cool, temperature wise. So it's a
Yeah.
gorgeous place.
I agree. I love caves. As soon as you said that, Anita, I was like, "Oh, it's cozy. I love it in there. I love the light. I love the diamond.
That-
Like
They
it's so
act
beautiful."
they actually have a lot of spiritual celebrations in caves too.
True.
Mhm.
And there's stalactites and stalagmites. Like, how fun are those?
Wow. Fill it up with water and swim through.
Yeah. So meeting yourself in the cave could just be your first part of just acceptance, acceptance. That's where I am. That's where I'm starting. That's where I am right now. I love this place. I love this home. Oh, and maybe there's an opening down there and maybe I can swim and maybe the water's blue and maybe I'm going to, you don't know where you're going, but reverence for your own path is what I'm bringing attention to.
Yeah, to love yeah, to love where you are, to start from that.
Yeah. And like you said, that's your first time experiencing like, oh my gosh, it made a diamond. Like all the pressure that I've been under made a diamond.
So much pressure.
Yeah. Anita was sharing that her were your parents from Russia?
Yes, from Siberia.
From Siberia, and there was a very specific way that things are done and not done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, that's why I'm excited to witness what your desires are versus like what should and shouldn't. Like what does Anita create when there's not should around?
That's interesting. I don't know.
Don't know, and
I
that's
never done that.
yeah, we don't know.
I don't know. It's
And
interesting.
I love that I don't know. I don't know where my paintings are going. I just know that I'm committed to the traction. I'm committed to meeting myself where I am, and I'm committed to being curious and honest. So that's a question I would like to ask. And Amanda, do you want to share the same question that I asked to Lynn? Do you want to share your answer? You do, or you can, or you don't have to.
It's just I feel like all encompassing. My place is all encompassing. Sometimes it's a cave, sometimes it's a beautiful forest, sometimes it's a beach, sometimes it's a sunset, sometimes it's a sunrise. Um, I don't feel like it's any
Mhm.
specific one thing because I feel like I'm everything and everything's in me.
Yeah. So your
So
versatility. I'm hearing honesty, that when you meet yourself, you know exactly where that spot is. I'm hearing quick decision making. Like it's like quick processing, like I'm here, yeah. I'm there, yeah. Wherever you are, there you are.
yeah,
Mhm.
pretty much.
And I know that you hang out in the ether world and you hang out in the physical world, so your dimensions are also um dimensional.
Limitless.
Limitless, yeah. So then I'll ask you, well, also I'll just ask the same question. Are there any emotions that you want to start getting traction and metabolizing during this process?
Well, I don't know. I was watching nature the other day and I just saw a hawk like so intent on its prey. And I think that emotion, like, what am I intent on that much that doesn't distract me?
Love. Love.
And I'm kind of working with that, yeah, because we have so many distractions. Again,
Yeah.
that hawk was like psh, nothing, but that prey was in his mind and in his focus. So that laser focus. And also personal gratification. I mean, I'm finally at a point in my life. It's an important milestone that I've achieved, and now's my time. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm seeing a bird series, not that I know how big the th series is, but you've talked about a songbird and you've talked about a hawk. So just something to notice.
Hmm.
The hawk one really excites me because what I would love to invite is for you to look at images of birds online and find like that's the one and bring that as so I'm going to have us choose what our starting painting is for the retreat and whether you just work on that the whole retreat or whether you do that and others. Each of you get to create a thumbnail of what the first painting is going to be so that I can see it and support you in the skills, right? Because the skills is what is going to be so crucial for this retreat so that your skills become muscle memory and you don't have to think about it. So if that's where you want to start, that hawk, that focus, that's the emotion that you really want to process right now is like for however many hours that you're working on that painting, you're in the process of what is it that I'm focused on? Like what, and you're just you're steeping in that question, in that field of consciousness. That's what I love about painting. It's like This painting is when I'm creating time to process what am I currently focused on. I love that's going to be your focus. So find an image that you're like, that's the hawk. And then I'm going to show you how to lay that out in a thumbnail so that when you paint it on the canvas, it's where you want it to be, how big, how small, if there's anything else around, if there's nothing else around, whatever, to support you in creating that thumbnail to get started on the painting. And like, are his eyes open? Are they glassy? Like, you know, what's the focus? Is the focus on the eyes? Is the focus on his head? I don't know. So we'll talk about that, but it's a beautiful place to start, and I love that for you. And it's like a beautiful harmony with that hawk and the songbird who lost its voice, right? Or who like you were wondering what your voice is. Those two things harmonize really well, which creates like a series when you're considering multiple things at the
Mm-hmm. And there was also a one that I can, as you're talking, the day that after Helene, we were driving around and there's so many people had lost their homes. I saw two eagles up in a tree, and we took a bunch of really beautiful pictures of them in the tree. And I was wondering, you know, also, did they lose their home? You know, and then that whole rebuilding of their, yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Eee, I love this bird. I love this bird thing. My intention for all three of you is to learn the skills so that you can use the skills in your style. And style really just comes down to, I like to do it this way. I like to do it that way. Like, that's really all style is. It's just a series of choices that you are acknowledging you like to do it like that. Like, that's really what the artist voice is. I like to do it like this. Like, for me, I like to have really a lot of like messiness and brush strokiness and freedom and like movement, and then I want some things to be in focus. Like, that's what feels exciting for me. I can feel it in my body. Let's talk for a second about the body, because there's a juiciness that happens in the body when I'm like, I like to do it like that. I can feel this like solar plexus activation of like, yeah, so juicy, it's so good, I love it, like that kind of feeling. I want for you guys to connect to that, so that's how you know what your style is, that's how you know what your artist voice is. So I'll be encouraging you, as the homework from today, to scour images, like whether that's Pinterest or Google Images. um, you can put in keywords, you can put in other people's paintings, and screenshot them so that you have a series, and we're going to present that series to each other in our next class. A series of almost like a presentation of, I love this about this picture, I love that, I love this about this picture, and feel your body be a yes for some things. So we're each going to have a yes about some different thing. For me, I love when the light comes behind a flower or a leaf and it backlights it. I just like, my visual field just goes nuts. Yeah, Lynette, like the saturation that's available when something's backlit, the hairs on a cow when the sun is coming behind the cow. I just live for that. When the sun's coming and there's like a bunch of bugs, and you can see the bugs because they're lit by the sun. Like, I live for backlighting. That stuff makes me just excited. So I want for each of you to be in that kind of excitement about your visual field. So whether that's moody jungle pictures, or like, I love how the background, you can't see it, but you can feel it. Or I love how this scene looks wet, but I don't know what makes it feel wet. And I want you to be in, I want your inner child just to be like, I freaking love this about this picture, and start taking notes on what you love. I'll go to the Salvador Dali Museum and I'll just take notes like, the buttery yellow in this part is driving me nuts. Well, I'm so excited by it. And I love the buttery yellow next to the gray the toned, the cool gray. I love that combination. I love this combination. Like I'm just taking notes of what I love in the visual field all the time, which is why I'm like quite joyful a lot of the time because I'm just in a constant state of inspiration. And because I have that channel open, I'm taking notes in order to use it. I'm like taking notes and bringing it, taking notes and bringing it. So I'm in this like fun process of, I think Lynette, I think you probably do this a lot. A fun process of like, ooh, this glitter I could use in this painting. Oh, this I could use over there. And start being in this like wonderland of like, kind of like when Belle from Beauty and the Beast, when she goes to the library and she's reading her books and she's just in the wonderland. She's just in the joy of it and the excitement of it. So that's where the inner child is so lit up. She's just in joy and wonder and delight. And that's what we want her to be. We want her to be activated like that. Because when she's activated like that, she gives us so much abundance. When we let her be abundant, she's like, oh, honey, life's about to get really good. And she starts feeding us ideas, lots of ideas. Like, we could do it like this, we could do it like that, we could do it big, we could go big, we could, she's just got ideas. She's got an abundance of ideas. And when we know how to have our healthy, mature parent inside, the parent can be like, okay, I've got Friday free, and we'll just channel all those ideas. Or I've got this budget and we'll just channel all that and we'll go to the art store and we'll get whatever you need within this budget. And so we've got this healthy dialogue between the parent and the inner child. The inner child's juiced up by life. The inner parent loves the inner child and is like, yeah, we've got this time, we've got this money. Let's go. Let's do it. You've got great ideas. And then she just starts to bless up your life. And all of a sudden you're like, I've just created a ton of value, like all over the place. So what are you guys hearing me say from that?
I'm hearing that inside of us, we've got what we need.
Lynn, that's such a great way to like synthesize everything I just said.
Yeah, because that's basically what I have been fighting for years, because I have this big inner child who goes, ooh, ah, wow, 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 ooh, ah, dancing, singing, color collecting, all that kind of stuff. And what I want from my students. And then I've got this creative mind, okay, we can do it, this, or we can explore and experiment, however it comes out. I've had so many people that I have to say, that I'm supposed to say yes to, because they're an authority figure. And I'm like, but you don't understand. And then when I try to voice it, I get angry. I can't get it out of my throat. They don't understand the wisdom that I have. And then I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I know this is freaking right.
Yeah.
Let me show you. But no, they are so tight, so full of fear or whatever, or somebody else dictating them. And then I get in trouble. I get in trouble because of it. I'm like, okay, so there's got to be a way to send them some sprinkles or something. It's just, I'm tired of it not. So, yeah.
Yep.
I gotta do the fuck you harder, or I got to escape it, or I've got to, on a different realm, do that kid adult blending so they're pacified. But then that gives part of me up and puts me in a mummy hold or something. So and that thing has been growing, and I'm going to be done with this.
Hmm.
So anyway, yep.
Lynn, what I'm hearing you say is that you get to accept and grow to know your inner wisdom. That wisdom that you're talking about, you get to accept, know, grow, honor in such a way that you're not fighting for it to be shared. You're aligned with it to be shared. It's you're not you don't need to generate the story anymore of I can't share, and then when it comes out it's angry, like how I did yesterday in the Indian restaurant. It was like it was because I bottled it up for so long that when it came out it was very angry like that. But you get to be so aligned with the wisdom and potency of who you are that it comes out in a intentional steady stream without any stories of they've not been listening or this or that. All that stuff is because it's been bottled up. But when you are so accepting and acknowledging and in love, it's like the love energy. When you're in love with the potency and the wisdom of who you are, when you share it, it lands. It's just direct. You're not fighting for attention. You're not asking. You're not begging. You're clear. And then the way it comes out, it lands. And that's just we'll be working on that together. I'm very happy to support that process in this evolution for you, because you are right. You've got so much wisdom in you, and we're going to help that come out and work on the inner work of how that bottleneck can open up and be expressed in a way that doesn't feel violent to anybody, to you or them. It's just a win-win. It's a win for you, it's a win for them. That's what we're creating, is a win-win for you and them. And it starts here inside, and so we'll work on that alchemy during the process of the retreat. How will it feel for you to be fully able to land the wisdom that is inside you?
I've found a lot of gifts about it. So like an elephant jumping up and down on a trampoline. That just kind of whee.
Yeah. So playful. You definitely have playfulness in you. So once you know exactly who it is, the whole personality of this wisdom that's in you, and you really know the personality, you're going to be able to share it in a win-win. And maybe you don't share it to those people. Maybe they're not the people you share it to. Maybe you share it to those people. But to know your wisdom is going to show you and teach you and guide you. You're going to be listening to inner guidance. Where do I bring this? And you're listening. And so then when it happens, it's nonviolent. You're a wisdom to the, you're a witness to the wisdom flow versus like fighting for it. So that's very exciting. So look for images that, even if you don't know why, they just call to you. You can say a prayer, show me the wisdom, show me the images that are going to illustrate this wisdom transfer between me and my outside world. Like, show me the images. And then the images are going to, why am I being called to Venice, Italy? Like, who knows where it's going to take you? You have no idea. But you're going to ask the question and then allow the images and that feeling in your body to populate the answers. Like, oh, somehow I'm brought into the medieval times. Maybe it's a past life. Maybe I was burning at the stake. Who knows what it is? But the images will start coming. And that's for you to process before it expresses in your outside world. Yeah. But yeah, I see that for you, Lynn. I absolutely see you knowing your wisdom so much that it's like being at a tea party. You're just pouring it into people's cups rather than like, I hope you like it piping hot, and just like, pour it on their lap. Like, it doesn't have to be violent tea party. It can be like a really beautiful offering of Lynn. Yeah, awesome. Great. I can't wait to see what images come through. And even in meditation, like what that looks like. So that's what I'm hearing you say is that's your traction point. That's your traction point of where you're starting and where we're gonna see what that evolves. And Amanda's traction point is what am I focused on? What am I focused on? And what is my song when I have my songbird alive and well? What is she singing? What is she? So Amanda, you get to look for images on that. Like ask the question of what images depict what I'm focused on. When we ask our mind a question, a prompt, the mind will start to populate the answer.
Mm-hmm.
So Anita, what are you, what's your traction point? You've talked about the cave.
So
What would
what I'm feeling and what's coming, what words coming towards me, it's expansion, creation, discovery, um, um, those things. But I see some dance maybe or fire and movement at the, I don't know, something in my, something spinning. I don't know, but I don't have like exact. Maybe maybe even like something wild, like something wild happening. I don't know. Maybe nature, something. I don't know. Because nature is like always evolving and changing and happening and
what I'm hearing is movement.
movement, a lot of movement and
What I'm
yeah.
hearing, dynamic energy is moving.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would encourage you to put on some music that feels like that kind of movement and start being in that energy. Like seeing what's there, being in your wild. Because of the way you were raised, wildness feels like a really potent elixir for you right now of like where's this wildness gonna go, but finding the music also for Lynn and Amanda, finding the music, curating yourself a playlist, because you can even put headphones in while you're painting and being in that energy. So Anita, maybe that kind of movement is African, maybe it's Brazilian, maybe it's Israeli, maybe it's Mongolian, but
Mm-hmm.
start cultivating a playlist of what that movement feels like
Okay.
because we're activating all of the senses. We're immersed in this environment, this ambiance as we are finding that traction for ourselves. So it's like, who needs an IMAX theater when we can create that inside ourselves, right? Like an IMAX theater is great because someone else created something. We just go and experience and be entertained and have that be inspiring. But this is another level of creation. We're the creator, right?
Mm-hmm.
Going to an IMAX, you're a participant, but this is I'm the creator and I want to get really honest with what I want to create. I want to fill up my cup with the essence of me. I want to feel me so completely, know me so completely that when I pour out me, I just can't wait to share it because I have so much potency. I know I keep using the word potent, but like it feels like I'm just being saturated by the meanness of this experience. So this retreat is going to be 3 days of you just saturated in the you that you can know and feel and delight in and watch and witness.
The thing is, I like even at this point of my life, I didn't even discover all my sides because I kind of like, you know how like they grow fruits in a shape and then you have like a shape of a fruit. Like they put a watermelon in the shape of a
Yeah.
of a triangle, and that's the shape it grew.
Yes.
So I feel like that's how I am right now, but what's happening right now, like the balloon, like there is like still more air and I feel like it can expand and I can like touch the surface with other parts of me because like I feel like I didn't have like the contact because I was squished in
Mm.
this triangle. That's the shapes that coming to me. Maybe that's what I should like create, some shapes and movement.
Yep.
So yeah, and even like me painting, I never like tried to make it abstract. I always like went and I'm like, okay, let me make this bunny or whatever I made, you know. So maybe I need to go and like for shapes and like just like movement and maybe creatures. I can add some creatures and eyes to it always. But maybe not
Go ahead.
like how I always do. Like I because you know I don't I everything that I created ever, it was like the first time I looked at picture, I tried and suddenly, oh, I can paint a fox. Oh, I can paint this. I'm like discovering me and arts. So maybe this time I like shouldn't so much limit myself on something and like give it like a lot of details like Dali. Like I am inspired by him, how you were saying like you going on his museum and you like, oh, I'm fascinated, and I'm like I remember that feeling of excitement of looking at art and like oh, what is it doing? Like yeah, wonder what like what I never like look deeper. I'm like, what exactly doing to me? I'm like looking at like some details that coming back, and it's so exciting. Maybe I should go for something like that, like more free and more uh, shapes and there to like a place that I never tried.
Mm-hmm. So this is why I'm talking about it like traction. This is why I'm referring to it in that way, because you don't know where your artistic journey is going to take you. You don't know that yet, and we don't need to know that, right? We're just here on this step right now. So
Mm-hmm.
in this moment right now, shapes are feeling like a great place to explore for you, and movement. So what I'm hearing is you're in the exploration for the first time. You're like really in the traction and in the exploration versus I should paint a fox. I should paint a that. Like you're making it yours, right? You're making it fully yours versus trying to do something that's going to sell or be commercial for someone else.
Because I I don't like even like before I create something, I didn't even like I don't have the experience yet. So, but I feel like my freedom will come from like abstract for some reason with some details, you know, like something like or like surrealism. Like that's where I'm like I need to like um
Yep.
create some world that it doesn't exist, that it's
Yes.
mine, that
Yeah.
it's
Yes. I feel that. I feel that. So maybe looking at images, maybe that's going to feel like a clutter to you, and maybe that's going to feel inspiring. So I want to leave that up to you.
Mhm.
Maybe your images, when you look at Salvador Dali, maybe it's just that he did create his own world. That could be what you love about that image, instead of like I like this part of like it could just be that he created his own world. So I think that it would be a great opportunity for you to look at images and see what pops out to you, and if you can feel that in your body, that, ooh, yeah, yeah, that, and take notes like it's this that I liked about that, it's that I liked about this, that kind of thing. But then
Mhm.
actually painting, it could be that just the exploration and the process of exploring and being so present with yourself and your feelings, it could be that that's where you go versus like making it look like a fox.
Mhm.
That's what I heard from what you said. Is that what you were saying?
Um like there is like a lot that coming through. Maybe it's maybe it's like little even overwhelming, I
Mm-hmm.
would say. So I probably should, like, I feel like everything is like now stirred and like excited and wanna come out, but I I think it's, yeah, maybe I should like let the dance to lead it first,
Yeah.
and after, yeah, and after see how I feel after, like I relax after my movement, and what it's gonna settle into.
Mm-hmm.
That's my feeling right
It's
now about it.
exciting that so much is coming, you know? Like it's exciting. It's probably like, how do I funnel all of this? But with the movement, and you're gonna find your flow. You're gonna be like, okay, this is how I start. Maybe it's writing every single day. Maybe it's like writing 3 pages a day like they do in the Artist Way. Um, so asking your inner artist, what do you need in order to start feeling turned on and able to channel, like to focus? What do you need? Is it meditation? She'll know. She'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Meditation, dance, is it time alone every day? Where do you want to spend that time? This is our devotion to the one inside us who has access to infinite abundance. And so she's going to come with her abundance, and you get to ask her, how do I start? What kind of, Anita, like the word would be kalim.
The what?
The word would be like kalim. Like, what kind of kalim do you need?
Mm-hmm.
Vessels, like Anita's from Israel. So what kind of vessels do I need to be able to like gather this, like capture this? And then for Amanda, it might come in a different way, you know? And so finding out how your inner artist is funneling in information to you, and how you can be there to gather it and cultivate it and store it. Um, is it a folder on your phone where you store images? Like when I'm in on my phone and I'm screenshotting all the time. And
Mm-hmm. I
and
have.
yeah, I'm a visual hoarder. Like I just love visuals. Um and then because I have all of that inspiration, when I'm creating a new painting, I can be like, "Oh, I love the water from this. I love the fire from that. I love, I can pull things because I've already developed that."
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think that dance is important for the rest of you, Lynn and Amanda?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So between now and our next class is on, did we say Tuesday? Our next class is on Tuesday from 5 to 6:15. So what we're going to do in that class is, so we've opened up a lot of inspiration coming through. I've given you a lot of permission to receive your inspiration. And so now with inspiration comes expression, right? Like inspire, expire. So to take all this inspiration and turn it into something. So I would love for you to come to class on Tuesday, if you're able to, with some kind of presentation, not because of performance. This is not a performance presentation. This is me. This is the music that feels like me. This is the energy. These are the words, these are the adjectives, these are the images. Um, it feels like it's going to be thick paint. It feels like it's going to be big. Just whatever that feels like. It's almost like I want your inner child to do a presentation of what she loves. That's what it is. And on Tuesday, I would love for you guys to present that. So maybe it's a PowerPoint, maybe it's a Canva, whatever you want to do, of this is me. This is the music. This is the type of painting that is like, just drop me in the retreat and I'm ready to go. I'm just so excited. Um, at the retreat, we're going to take that and I'm going to meet with each of you in order to turn that presentation that you just did into a painting that you can learn your skills and get your traction and get your music on and start flowing. And then I'm going to be giving you skills as we go. So I'm going to be teaching color, I'm going to be teaching value and drawing. These are the 3 pillars that once you get them in your muscle memory, you just need to learn them once. Once you get them in your muscle memory, you don't have to keep thinking about it. It's just, you know, that green and yellow makes, blue and yellow makes green. And you know that this type of yellow makes this type of green, and this type of yellow makes that type of green, because I'm going to have us all do it together. We're going to make a color wheel together using 2 types of red, 2 types of yellow, 2 types of blue. I'm going to show you how to move your way around the color wheel so easily that you are not going to need to think about it. You're going to be like, oh yeah, I got it. Like I'm going to talk about temperature, and it's the best way that I've ever learned color. I learned color for so many years before I learned it from this one teacher. Once I learned it from that one teacher, it was like, I get it. I get it. And I'm going to teach that to you. So you're going to be able to mix any color in the whole world. Like you're going to know just where to go because your color wheel is your map and you're going to know exactly how to access it. And then drawing is a lot about shapes, Anita. So I'm going to be teaching us basic shapes, the 4 basic shapes: square, triangle, circle, and square, triangle, circle, oval. And then how to turn those 2D shapes into 3D. Lynn, you probably know this stuff because of being an art teacher. And then talk about edges, talk about like types of line quality. We're going to be, I'm going to show you how to put together a human, a portrait. I want to give you guys access to things so that you're like, oh my God, now I know how to do it. That's awesome. Now that's a tool in my toolkit. Now I can build like a much bigger house, right? Because I now have a hammer. I now have a screwdriver. I didn't have that before. And then value. Value is from white to black. I like to do it in 5 stages, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. We'll do a value chart yourself. And then you're going to have the language. So as the retreat goes on, you're going to have the language where you're going to be able to say, I'm going to do a 5 here, I'm going to do a 1 there, and it's going to build your muscle memory so that you just know exactly how to talk about it, do it. I can give you an instruction or something like that, and you're just going to know how to do it. With those 3 pillars, drawing, value, and color, you can create anything in the visual world. Those 3 pillars are the simmered down version of everything that I've learned, and it's all that you need in order to paint anything or in order to talk about the visual world at all. So we're going to do our presentation on Tuesday of what our inner child loves. So that's music, image, adjectives, words, maybe some quotes, maybe some emotions. What else do I want to say? I'm going to have lunch every single day for you guys. And it's going to go from about 9. We'll start around 9 and go till about 5. And I know that Lynn and Amanda and Anita, you're all going to sleep at home. And I am providing the art materials, like the basics that you'll need. You're going to have an easel, a large canvas. I'm going to teach you how to turn like a canvas that you get at the art store to a really nice surface, one that just feels luscious and lovely. I'll show you my trick for doing that. And you'll have brushes, you'll have paint, and then I want for you to bring paint that you have at your house. I want to see what you have. And so bring that. I just want to see what you use and what you normally use, like what colors you use, what colors you're drawn to. Because I'm going to have like the basics, but anything you want to add to it, I want to see what your normal go-to paints are. And do you have any questions?
And
Oh yeah, bring headphones too, so that you can create your own world at the retreat.
mm,
Do you guys have any questions? Oh, also bring your journal, bring your like notepad.
so that's all we need. We need just our art supplies, what we use, and like personal things, and that's all. Like that's for.
Yeah,
So no, we don't need to buy canvases.
I'm supplying you with canvases. If there's anything that you're gonna want on top of what I'm supplying, there's a Michael's 1 minute from my house. But if you
Oh,
have stuff at your house now, also you're gonna be going home each day, so you'll be able to, replenish with what you have. But I'm providing one large canvas that's 3 feet by 4 feet for you to create, whether it's like your main exploration, and then you're going to have 16 by 20 canvases to kind of do like smaller parts of the series. And also I ordered some canvas paper so that you can continue the series, like maybe you want to do a study or something, or maybe you want to do your color wheel on it, that kind of thing.
mm.
Yeah.
Nice.
So no one has any questions? Do you guys feel excited? Like what are the emotions coming up as you prepare for this? Like, do you feel like you're getting pregnant with your art?
I feel like I'm already in this like presence of expansion and exploring, and like I feel like I'm already in it. Like it's kind of um like you waiting for like date or something. That's how I feel.
Yeah. It's a date with yourself, babe.
It's
That's what I want it to feel like. I want you to feel like you're in love with your being. You're excited to meet yourself every day and spend time with yourself. I love that. And you know what someone once said about their art? They said that it's like a mistress. Like, when an artist is an art, like an artist, not like someone that likes to do art, but an artist, like a Frida Kahlo type of artist, or like Van Gogh, or that kind of caliber, when their paintings or their writings are their mistress. It's like, I can't wait to get back to my mistress. It's like this
Mm.
constant feeling of, oh, I can't wait to paint later. That is where I want to get you guys. And then we're going to have, after the retreat, there's going to be 4 classes that are probably going to be about this long, maybe an hour, where we're going to be integrating this into your life so that you can bring that kind of longing for your own art, but make it sustainable for you. Make it work around your schedule. We're going to be putting it in the calendar, that kind of thing, so that, because I want for you to be in your life in this like secret love affair with your own art, and just like, where is it going? Be in that joy and that juiciness with it. What else is coming up for you as we're preparing for the birth or the date? I love that.
Joy. Mm.
Is there any like nervousness coming up of like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I'll have what it takes. Like, is any of that coming up for you guys? Or yeah? Okay. That's normal. And that's where I would love for you to trust me, that I know how to build a painting like in my bones, that I'll be able to, give you each step of that process so that you feel like you're giving birth with a professional doula. Like, that's how I want it to feel, that you're like,
Mm.
I'm birthing twins or quadruplets, and I'm like, I got you. I got you. Like, this
Mm.
is a normal part of the process. Just breathe. That's how I wanted it to feel. That's when I was coming up with the context of this. That's how I wanted it to feel, was like that you're this like very pregnant, person, and maybe it's your first birth, or maybe like you've birthed before, but I want to be like, here, just breathe. I got you. And we've got each other. And you can surrender into the process. So make sure that you eat breakfast, because I'm not providing breakfast, but there will be snacks and lunch. And does anyone have any food allergies or anything like that?
I don't eat gluten and dairy, but
Okay.
I can bring something.
Okay. So you don't eat gluten and dairy. Good to know. All right. No other questions? No other any questions about the homework, or you understand the homework for Tuesday?
So we doing
just on
we,
your-
we doing the dance with the playlist for the for the expiration for the expansion, and then we looking at art and gathering something that we will create from it, like a collage that we will create from it.
Yeah, so you're going to have your inspiration. You're gonna have your playlist. So imagine you're going to the hospital to give birth, or no, not the hospital. Imagine you're giving birth at your house. And you've got your playlist that is gonna help you just soften and expand, or be in the energy of the primal energy. You've got your deck of inspiration ready to go, like whether that's affirmations or quotes or images. Like you've got a really rich deck of imagery and inspiration to pull from, to draw from, it's almost like your inner child is bringing a little lunchbox, and it's just filled with like inspiration, right? She's like, I got my pencil sharpener, I've got my picture of Salvador Dali. Like she's got a full thing of like, I want to bring my backpack, my lunchbox to school, and it's got all my favorite things. That's what I want her to feel like that is. And that's what we're going to be sharing on Tuesday, is that backpack that's filled with her favorite stuff. Her images, her music. And yeah, and then just bring your art supplies, so that I can see what you use, and so that you have anything on top of what I'm providing. And like you can bring your brushes if you've got like favorite brushes, that you love to paint with, because your inner child has a desire for certain materials over others. So I'm going to be providing acrylic and oil, and she's going to feel a certain affinity to acrylic, or she's going to feel it to oil, or she's like, I've never done oil. Like, so we get to practice with that kind of thing and see what she loves. And Lynn's inner child, I think, likes glitter and mixed media. So let her bring that if you want.
I'm not gonna bring glitter to your house.
You're welcome to. We can do it outside. I've got a lot of yard space at my house, as you've seen. All right. Well, I love you guys. I'm so excited for Tuesday to see what your inner child puts together as her deck of inspiration. And I'm excited to listen to your music, and just to see what's going to be created at the retreat. I want to say to your inner child, this is pure exploration. Nothing needs to be complete. Nothing, you don't have to finish anything. This is exploration. This is learning skills in order to set her creativity free. And there's nowhere that she has to go, and there's nothing she has to do. It's an opportunity to explore the traction of who she is and who you are, in order for you to fill up your cup with yourself, with your you-ness. All right, guys, I'll let you go.
Thank you.
I'll see you on Tuesday. Let me know if you've got any questions between now and then. All right, bye everyone.
Bye.